everyone. Today, we have among us Mr. Elvis Goes, a teacher of mathematics by profession, teaching at Garden Angel High School, Kurchore. He is an inspiration to all of today's youth. Mr. Elvis Goes, who also has to his credit around 30 international performances, has taken Konkani music to a different level. The first ever recipient of the Yuva Srujan Puraskar, he is nicknamed the Mando Prince. Welcome, Mr. Elvis Goes, to Abolianchem Fest 2023.
It's a pleasure to be here. A very good evening, all of you. It's always a pleasure to be here attending the Abolianchem Fest whenever it is held. And I know there has been a break of a few years because of things beyond our control. And once again, good evening, all of you. And good evening, Moreska.
It's indeed very creditable that you are a teacher by profession, and that too a teacher of mathematics. And yet, music is your lifeline. You have been felicitated and recognized for your music contribution. Tell us more about the Yuva Srujan Puraskar. What is it about?
Yeah, but before I can get to your question, let me tell you, as you said, that a teacher of mathematics and music, how do these two things go together? Well, since my childhood, I had a passion for teaching. Obviously, I was also into music. My father had taught me a few songs, and I went on singing songs, and my cousins were there, contributed a lot towards the growth of my musical journey. And at the same time, I was a brilliant student of mathematics, and I would teach my friends. They would come to me. I remember when it was time for me to do my studies, when I was in the 10th standard, I would make time for my friends. And I was already a teacher, I think, when I was in the 10th standard. Well, coming to the second part of it, your question about Yuva Srujan Puraskar. This Puraskar was instituted by the government of Goa through the Directorate of Art and Culture. And it was instituted in order to felicitate youngsters who have excelled in different fields of music. I think it was the first year in 2008-2009 that the awards were announced, and there were about 8 recipients of these awards, and I was one of them, the first ever recipient of the Yuva Srujan Puraskar for folk art. So as I said, basically it was to encourage the youngsters to do more in the field that they have already been excelling, and also as a reminder for the younger generation of Goa that whatever they do, their contribution will always be recognized.
Thank you, sir, for sharing about your achievements. Konkani also needs to be promoted through songs and dance. The Kepechi Kirna has been shining all over, and that also through the Konkani media. When did you begin to promote singing songs in Konkani?
Well, when I was still at school, I would write dramas, theaters, okay? And it started then because my friends were writing, so I also would write, and I would sing songs in Konkani, my own compositions. At that time, I've forgotten most of the songs which I had written because they are no more there. And then the journey went on. In 1987, there was a competition which was organized by the Goa Cultural Center. I think it was the first ever competition that they had in both the north and the south of Goa through selections. Now there are so many competitions which are happening, but that was the only competition at that time. And I was still a youngster, but I was just about 18 at that time, and I was categorized and put in the senior category. And that was the beginning of my journey. When I started my song, the song that I was singing, it was a very soft song. You know, I was very soft, and the crowd, you know, they were like, I didn't know what they were doing, but I thought they were booing, you know, because it was a little soft. But I went on, and as the song progressed, by the time I went on to the second line, some of them had not heard me. I had this natural vibrato in me. When they heard the vibrato, I think that was the time they cooled down, and eventually I was the lead. I won that competition. That was the first ever competition, all-Goa competition that I had won, going through selection from north and south of Goa at that time, 1987. So it went on. My journey started then. Okay, singing in Konkani, also in different other languages. I would also have win prizes at college level. I remember I had composed my first ever English song, "Love at First Sight," and I had won a prize at my college and at creations in Dempes. They are no more held, I think, happenings at NGOs. Wherever I went, I would win competition, the prizes for not only in English, not only in Konkani, also in singing Hindi songs at that time. And it went on, and then I was a part of the group Kepenchikina, which was led by somebody else, by a very famous musician from Kepen by name Felix Pinto. And then I took over in 1996. So I led the group at the annual festivals, Wonder Festivals, and we would win prizes. And then, there were at the same time so many other things happening. And then in 2003, I won for my group, Goa state level folk competition for 3 continuous years. Okay, also in folk dance as well as in folk music. And also in 2003 at the national festival, which was held in Thiruvananthapuram, I won Goa its first prize for folk song through my mando, which I had composed at that time. And it went on. Then we went on to create a world record, Guinness Book of World Records, for the longest singing marathon by multiple singers, which was created in Mangalore, breaking the record of a musical group from Brazil. Then Konkani was already put on the world map. Not so much by the Goans, but by the Mangaloreans. Of course, as there may have been many other contributions, but at the world stage in the Guinness Book of World Records, the record was created there. And through this group, Kepenchikin, I went to different countries and I portrayed our language and our culture. And I must tell you that wherever we went, wherever we performed, Konkani was well received by everybody. And I also remember when I went to the 4 countries of Mozambique, then Uganda, Rwanda, and Tanzania, where Tanzania was the place where the performance was for the inaugural ceremony of the Zanzibar International Film Festival. After the performance, after the inaugural ceremony, there came one man and he just hugged me on the stage, backstage. Okay, and then he said, he said, wow, he said, wow, he said. I said, what are you saying? You enjoyed my performance? He said, yes, and I am Goa, he said, I am Goa. Because I had sung a song for the multiple audience, and the song was named Goa, and the audience was reverberating, the entire amphitheater was reverberating with the song on Goa. And he said, I am Goa. Then I was a little confused and I asked him, what is this that you're saying? He said, my name is Goa. Okay, and then after that, I took a picture for him, with him, and my friend had taken the picture. And I thought I would treasure this and I would put about this in the papers when I come back with his picture. But unfortunately, my friend lost his phone whilst we were traveling in the flight. And there was no picture of Goa, no sign of Goa after that. Of course, I've got friends in Zanzibar and in other places in Africa, but nobody has been able to trace Goa. But I remember I asked him, how come your name is Goa? He said his father was from Goa and his mother was from Tanzania. But then there was no sign of him. And Konkani has been spread all over the world, and I did my bit in contributing in promoting Konkani to the world. Yeah.
Sir, I know you can go on.
Yeah.
But I have a next question for you.
Yes.
You can express in that you're a brilliant teacher of mathematics, but you have not stopped at numbers. You have been singing, composing, and performing internationally, and recognized as multilingual singer. Could you please tell us more about your performances in different languages and in different countries?
Yes, sure. But before that, you said that you're a brilliant teacher of mathematics. See, I have never said that. I never say that I'm good at teaching mathematics.
I would like to say that because I have been your student.
Okay. So that is you're free to say whatever you have to. But I do my bit in teaching mathematics. I love mathematics. And I incorporate music also. When I teach, when I enter the class, it's not like a teacher of mathematics who enters the class. It's like a clown who enters the class. And I joke, I fool around. I'm one with the students. Yeah. Yes. So to some extent, I have been able to incorporate even my music into mathematics. teaching of mathematics. Of late, when during the pandemic, there was a very famous Sri Lankan song. Any of you know? You know? No. It was a very famous Sri Lankan song which was very popular all over the world. You recognize the song?
Yes. Yes.
Maniki. I tried to put the trigonometric ratios in the form of the song, and I thought the students would be interested in learning that. But I composed the song, I never recorded it, and it never went to the students. Okay, then the song also became old, so I did not use it. Maybe in the future I can do something like that. Talking about my multilingual singing, yes, I have performed in different countries. And my latest performance, international performance, was in Kazakhstan. But before Kazakhstan, I must tell you that I had the privilege of going to Egypt and visiting places like Alexandria, the place where, mathematics and Alexandria are synonymous. I had the privilege of visiting the central library there, but unfortunately it was closed that day. Okay? But I must tell you about this place in Sudan. It's by name Kadugli, where the United Nations peacekeeping forces were stationed, and we went there we had the concert there for the United Nations peacekeeping forces, and I must tell you that besides enjoying the singing in our songs in English and also in Hindi, they enjoyed the songs in Konkani very much. They would sing the United Nations peacekeeping forces, which were made up of different nationalities. They sang in Konkani, And also now, as I said about my latest performance in Kazakhstan, the audience was all, they had a close affinity to India, so they would love Hindi songs. Besides enjoying Hindi songs, Raj Kapoor and Shah Rukh Khan are favorites there. Shah Rukh Khan, of course, not, but Raj Kapoor has been a favorite. Mithun Chakraborty, Disco Dancer, all these songs, I've been singing and entertaining the crowd. At the same time, I would also sing in Konkani, and they would enjoy Konkani as much as they would enjoy Hindi. Okay, so internationally, I have performed at different places, promoted Konkani. I also remember it was in 2006 when there were 30 ambassadors from 30 different countries attending a concert by my group in Phnom Penh, Cambodia. And one of the ambassadors came up to me. Of course, yes, I had interacted with many of them, but one of them came up to me and he said that he could never imagine and believe that something like this, could exist in India. So they were all very surprised going by the kind of music that we were giving, with that Western flavor and a mix of Indian and Western flavor. So, they found it difficult to come to terms that this kind of music existed in Goa. Goa has got its own identity, and I'm sure whoever sings Konkani songs or even songs, folk songs or any other kind of songs, they are well appreciated by audiences around the world.
It's very nice to hear, sir, that people from other countries too appreciate our music. Having a conversation with you was very inspiring, and we appreciate you also for promoting our rich Goan culture everywhere. And thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you so much, and thank you for the lovely audience. I know, as she's just said before I could finish, when I started, I would go on and on. In the classroom also it happens like that. It would happen in the past, it's happening even now. So I would go on and on. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to come here and share my views. Thanks a lot. Thank you so much.